Now, the next session will tackle the Bank of the Future in a form of interview with the Assistant Chief Operating Officer at Bank Audi, Fadi Obeid, interviewed by Michael Aswad, the Senior Business Development Manager at ArabNet. Please help me welcome Fadi and Michael to the stage.
How are you? I wanted to welcome Mr. Fadi on stage.
Thank you.
Very nice to have you as well. We, as you know, ArabNet has had Bank Audi as a partner of ours for many years, introducing amazing technologies. Before we start our session, I would love to show you guys a video that we've conducted ourselves, ArabNet, focused on fintechs in the region and on a global level. Thank you. This is to give you a quick brief about what's happening in the space. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Bank Audi has supported ArabNet for 9 beautiful years. They've introduced amazing technologies like interactive teller machines, Novo, tap-to-pay services, and even an AI robot. Today, actually just yesterday, you guys introduced a new technology, which is...
This is the first time that a chatbot is launched in the Lebanese market. So Bank Audi's participation in ArabNet has provided us with the right platform to launch our new chatbot, which is called Andy. With that chatbot, people can actually start using Facebook Messenger to interact with the bank, ask certain simple questions to the bot, get answers about branch location, products and services, and even actual live queuing time and waiting time within the branch. So that gives some kind of flexibility. And at the end of the chat, if the user wants to get more information, he has all the time the option to actually talk to a live agent.
Awesome. Regarding, you guys have been, you are one of the leading banks in Lebanon in terms of in size, etc. So technology has been the forefront of all this. How has it really impacted the customer journey throughout?
You know, during the last period where internet has blossomed and people are using a lot more technology, you have to provide your customers with a true and full customer journey. We are focusing on digitalizing the customer journey from start to finish by providing a multi-contact and multi-channel, what we call omni-channel way of interacting with the bank. There has been a lot of improvement, as you mentioned, some of the things that you have mentioned in your introduction. We are moving also towards integrating them all together with the chatbot and ultimately also with video so that clients can contact the bank anytime, anywhere.
So what are your digital priorities for the next 12 months?
The bank has embarked a few years ago on a transformation program. You see, you talked about all of these fintech. These fintech have capabilities that because they are starting from scratch, they are doing zero-based design, they can do something that without the concept of a legacy system. Moving forward, if any bank wants to compete and to stay relevant to the consumers, this bank has to do some internal transformation. Okay. This internal transformation tackles two topics. One relates to the branches and the future of the branch and how the branch should interact with the customer. And the second relates to the technological background and infrastructure that the bank possesses. So we have a program which is called Upgrade. It tackles both sides of the transformation. We're changing our core banking, which is the base of everything that we do. And within the next 12 months, we are hoping to complete and to have flexibility and capabilities that will allow us to even go further and change faster in the future and adapt faster.
So you're doing a lot of these things internally and you're enhancing the experience from the back end. Now, if you look at the technologies that you've introduced, how have they fared out in the public's eye?
Actually, we're doing both because what we are doing in the back end serves us to better provide something in the front end. And we have started launching different things during the last couple of years, and it's still coming. The thing is that there is a massive adoption. We are seeing migration. We are seeing a lot of clients picking up on those channels that we are giving to them and using them directly and a lot, so with high frequency. And we're seeing a migration from from the low value transaction that the clients don't like to go to the branch to do anymore. Yep. Yeah, they are not.
How many actually want to go to the branch? Raise of hands. How many want to go to a branch? How many don't want to go to a branch? Okay, so everyone doesn't want to go to the branch.
Yeah, everybody doesn't want to go to the branch, and it's normal. You don't want to go do something that is tiring. You need to park for something that is low value, so for depositing cash or taking out cash or for just checking on your balance. So what we are seeing is that once we are giving the clients the opportunity to do these services remotely, they are adopting it en masse.
Okay. The governor of the central bank yesterday re-emphasized that Lebanon is interested in promoting its own cryptocurrency. Now, if you look at the other side of things on the blockchain level, what are you guys using to leverage that technology?
All of these new technologies are a little bit, you need to adapt, you need to see how they're going to fit within the trend. Yes, there is also a lot of regulation regarding not to trade in anything close to Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency in Lebanon. And central bank, with this initiative to launch the cryptocurrency, we need to see that. But blockchain can be leveraged to do other things as well. So it's not only about cryptocurrency. We are exploring different initiatives with technology providers, with some of the fintechs, and I want to return after to the subject of how collaboration can happen. We are exploring with some of those blockchain providers the capabilities to build maybe a digital ID or a kind of digital wallet or digital framework that can help in facilitating KYC onboarding. So there is a lot of use cases for blockchain, such as trade finance, transfers. All of these can be served by blockchain and without touching the part related to cryptocurrency, which is the speculative part of that area. And definitely, we would need the technology if once BDL puts forth the cryptocurrency, the national cryptocurrency, that we'll have to use and accept and disperse as well.
And when you talk about, you were talking about the fintechs, and you're saying there are challenges when you are trying to build a resilient technology internally as a bank, or are you, which you are doing currently and being the forefront when you're using these technologies and introducing these technologies. Now, when it comes to acquisitions, partnerships, adoptions, are you guys doing any collaborations with these fintechs and startups?
I think that this is where most of the successful cases we are seeing. Whenever a fintech is partnering up with a bank, because until now, even in some of the most advanced places, the part where fintech was able really to make a difference is in the payment, is in the microcredit, is in the lending. But also when fintechs partner with a bank that has a large customer base, they can provide and scale up very quickly. Definitely. So we are seeing that the ecosystem is not going towards competition between banks and fintech. There will always be competition, definitely. But more and more, if partnership, where fintech can provide the better user experience, the quick ability to market their services, and banks provide the scale, the customers, and ultimately reaching a point where banks will open up their systems and provide to their customers third-party services that are provided by fintech and non-fintech player as well.
Have you worked with any third parties in the past, any specific vertical that you can emphasize on?
Yes, traditionally we have provided bank insurance products, which are insurance products that were provided over the counters to our clients. So there was collaboration with car dealers, for consumer finance. You can find a lot of consumer finance products that are proposed, whether it's a phone, whether it's a TV, it's a third party. The future is a little bit much more complex and complicated, and has to be part of a journey. So when you are actually checking out your account online, or when you are doing, or when you are interested, or even when you are nearby, whether you are collected through your beacon or through your application, you will get the message, and you can get that this is something that you can buy, that you can propose with a good financing plan. So the journey will be the bank to be present whenever the client needs those services.
Okay, and since you're talking about the future, where do you see the retail banking space moving towards in the next, let's say, 5 years?
I think that, I don't know if we have colleagues from other banks, from competitors. We're seeing more and more that banks are similar. They kind of offer the same products and services in terms of product. So the move further is about customer centricity, is about being understanding the client from all of the aspects, and provide added value and better advisory services at the level of the branch. So transforming the branch from a transaction hub to an advisory hub, where you are able to provide good advice where a client is at a transitional period. He needs a mortgage, he needs an investment product, he needs certain information from the branch that he cannot get. He wants to understand what is typical for him. This is how it's going to happen. And providing more and more seamless technology for the day-to-day activities.
And will there be a branch in 5 years?
Definitely.
Definitely?
Definitely. Maybe different format, where it's more of an advisory nature, having to do activities that are more on the personalization of the relationship. It will be the transactions in terms of cash and checks definitely are regressing. They are moving towards alternative channels. So the branch role is changing, but it's not disappearing.
So we previously talked about data analytics offside, and you talked about predictive analysis and predictive modeling and behavior analytics. Can you re-emphasize on those? I thought that was very interesting.
Okay. Traditionally, banks have had, they are probably the most data-rich institution in the whole ecosystem. They know your financial capabilities. They can see the balances that you keep, the salary that you maintain, that you receive, your payments, where do you spend the money. So this information is available. Traditionally, also, banks are structured into silos. So these data don't actually necessitate that the card system talks to the core, talks to the information about the clients, about the KYC. These are transformation projects that we are undertaking so that all of this data can be integrated. There are two aspects for data and data projects. One of them is data visualization inside the institution, where you are able to see all of this data in a visual manner and at the click of a button, and use technology such as in-memory calculation to display live data about what's happening in the institution and about clients. The other one, which is experimental and is really interesting, and it uses deep learning, artificial intelligence, big data, is the power to transform this data into something that actually talks and makes sense and predicts when the client will be making a certain transactions. We are
Can you give us a quick example on that?
Yeah, we are targeting now 2 or 3 different things. First of all is we are building a model, a predictive model that is built on big data and AI in order to predict the customer attrition. Okay. So based on the behavior, we will be able to predict to 95% accuracy when the customer is going to leave after 3 months or 6 months. So in order to make a
corrective
different
measure.
Yes, intervention and maintain the client. The other one is about what is the next product that he is interested in based on his behavior as well. Also, it's about, some of it is related to credit assessment. The probability of the default, when is it going to happen? What is the risk that we are taking with the client? All of these models take a lot of data to churn, to actually process and to come up with a result.
Okay, and you talk about open data, and when you're talking about data internally, but are you ready as a bank maybe to open your data?
No, definitely this is regulation in Lebanon.
From a regulation
regarding
perspective.
Banking secrecy, anti-money laundering.
Understood.
Yeah.
What do you feel like some of the biggest challenges from a millennial perspective, targeting millennials from a retail banking perspective?
I think that first of all, millennials, if we go by the definition, they are, some of them are 38 today. Yep. So they are not anymore those young university students who are only connected. We have people who are 38, who are millennials, who fit the definition. And if you want to talk about millennials being people who are connected, I think that we have a generation that is a little bit older than millennial, who is all the time connected and trying to get their services and activities online. We are offering a lot of, we're targeting them with the right channels now for them to get service properly. And we have certain things in the making that we will be launching within this year. We have a very nice initiative that's being done. It's secret still. It's a project internal. But we are...
No spoilers?
No spoilers today. We can't do that.
Do you think...
If you do ArabNet in the summer, we'll come and launch it.
I think we'll just do that just for you. Yeah. No worries. Do you think that Bank Audi will ever be a digital-only bank?
We are targeting now to become a hybrid bank.
A hybrid bank?
I don't know. Maybe in the future, as things evolve, we don't know.
Yeah. It's predictive, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, we have one over there. They're going to get you a mic. 1 second.
Hi, my name is Rida. I work with Wamda.
You work with?
Wamda. With regards to regulation about banking secrecy, do you see any way, for example, now what's happened in Europe is that they just passed the open banking regulation. Don't you see this as a big hindrance to the development of the economy in Lebanon moving forward? Are there any loopholes or alternative solutions that could be provided to fintechs who want to collaborate with banks but want to leverage the power of data that these banks have?
I think in terms of hindering the economy, I don't know, because at the end of the day, one of the attraction about Lebanon economy is the fact that there is banking secrecy. So I don't see it as hindering today. But in order for this to happen, Some protocols could be made directly between institution and fintech. So if a fintech comes to the bank, any bank, and has a valuable proposition, and the bank sees this proposition, by adoption of a protocol that covers banking secrecy and extending it to the fintech, this fintech could have access. The difference with what is going on, that if you want to do it on a person by person, you need to contact the client to get the acceptability of opening up his account, which is not covered by regulation. So this is why I see that there will be a lot of collaboration, whereby a proposition is made and the client willingly gives his information to the fintech to operate, but it needs to be a partnership.
Any other questions? No. Okay, excellent. Thank you for your question. I encourage you all to sign up to the ArabNet Quarterly. The next issue that's coming out is going to be focused solely on fintech. We published one last year. We ran out of copies, but the content is great. We will focus on entrepreneurship, technology, industry news, and startups that are solely in the fintech space. And there are a lot apparently in MENA, over 80. So please do grab a copy. And thank you so much, Mr. Fadi, for your time having us on as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Fadi and Michael, for this fruitful interview. I would like to thank everyone for sticking around. The Digital Transformation Forum has come to an end. Please join us in the Media and Advertising Forum. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next year.